We just looked at the Sutram 1.4.24, Dhruvamapaye Padanam, which defines the designation Apadanam. Now we are taking 2.3.28, Apadane Panchami. Let us remind ourselves that any Vibhakti assignment, case assignment, has to be done by Sutram or maybe a Vartikam in the third quarter of the second chapter of the Ashtadhyayi. So the rules in the Adhikara of Karake, which runs from 1.4.23 to 1.4.55, they only define the respective Karaka designations. They don't assign the Vibhakti. Vibhakti assignment has to be done here in the third quarter of the second chapter of the Ashtadhyayi. So when we ask the question, which Sutram or Vartikam justifies a particular case assignment, the answer has to be a Sutram or a Vartikam from the third quarter of the second chapter of the Ashtadhyayi. Here we have the Sutram 2.3.28, which says Apadane Panchami. Very simple Sutram. The Vritti says Anukte Padane Panchami Syat. We know very well by now that the Adhikara of Anabhite starts from 2.3.1 and it influences this entire third quarter of the second chapter of the Ashtadhyayi. That's why the Vritti says Anukte Apadane Panchami Syat, which simply means a fifth case affix, Nyasi, Bhyam or Bhyas, singular, dual or plural, is used to denote the apadanam, that from which detachment or ablation takes place, provided it has not been expressed otherwise. Ablation is a technical name used for detachment or separation. That is why the Panchami Vibhakti in the English grammar books is called the ablative case. We are continuing examples which we started when we studied 1.4.24, Dhruvamapaye Padanam. That time we studied the examples Gramadayati. We saw how Grama, village, gets designation Apadanam. And now this Sutram 2.3.28 says that a fifth case affix is used to denote the Apadanam. So we attach the fifth case affix, in this case the singular affix Nyasi, following Grama to get the form Gramat. Of course we are not deriving the forms here. We have done that many times before. But just to refresh our memory, the Sutram which applies here is 7.1.12. Ta Nyasi Nyasa Minat Syaha. So Nyasi gets the Sarvadesha At. So we get Grama plus At. Then of course we apply Akas Savane Dirghaha 6.1.101 to get Gramat. Similarly, Dhavato Shvat Patati. Someone falls from a running horse. We already discussed how Ashva, the horse, gets the designation Apadanam, because even though the horse is running, it is uninfluenced by the detachment, the falling. It is only the starting point, the limiting point from which detachment takes place. So Ashwa has a designation Apadanam by 1.4.24, and by this Sutram 2.3.28, he takes the fifth case affix to get the form Ashvat. Now what is the importance of this condition Anabhite, the Adhikara which runs from 2.3.1 throughout this quarter of the Ashtadhyayi? Consider the example Vibhetyasmaditi Bhimaha, the one from whom someone is afraid. Here, even though there is no physical detachment, there is a mental detachment. The action of fear denotes a mental detachment. So the apayaha is certainly there, and hence the one from whom someone is afraid gets the apadana sanya. Actually, Panini does have a sutram for this also. The sutram is 1.4.25. Bhitrarthanam bhayahetuho. But even without going to the sutram, we can see that there is a mental detachment, and hence the one from whom there is fear gets the designation apadanam. But what's happened here is that the krit affix, in this case the affix mak, which is the unadi pratyaha, prescribed by the unadi sutram number 145 in the first padaha. It says Bhiyaha Shugva. That is used to derive the form Bhimaha as well as Bhishmaha. The affix here is Mak. and there is an optional augment shuk. So the form bhima has already expressed the apadanam, that from which detachment takes place. That meaning is already in the form bhima. It is abhitam, uktam, krit pratyayena uktam. It has been expressed by the krit affix mak. Hence, we cannot apply this sutram 2.3.28. We have to apply the prathama vibhakti in the sense of pratipadika matre using the sutram 2.3.46. So we get the form bhimaha and not bhimat. Let us take a second example to understand the importance of anabhite. Example here is udhrita odano yasyaha iti udhritaodana So udhritaha odanaha yasyaha, that from which rice has been taken out, is udhritaodana. It's qualifying sthali. It's a plate from which the rice has been taken out. Here the apadanam, that from which detachment or ablation takes place, is already expressed by the samasaha, the compound. The compound already has yasyaha, that from which rice has been taken out. And hence 2.3.28 cannot apply, and udhritaodana does not take the fifth case affix. We just use the first case affix in the sense of pratipadika matre by the sutram 2.3.46. So this is the second example to illustrate the importance of anabhite. The point to remember is that to apply 2.3.28, the apadana karakam should be anabhitam. It should be unexpressed by anything else. Only then we can use the fifth case affix to denote the anabhitam apadanam.